Balaam, a prophet mentioned in the Holy Scriptures, unsuccessfully attempted to curse the nation of Israel. His story is detailed in the book of Numbers, belonging to the Old Testament. This prophet is particularly famous for a notable incident, in which the Lord allowed his donkey to speak. In this video, we will delve into Balaam's life according to biblical teachings. According to the Holy Scriptures, Balaam was the son of Beer and resided in Peter, a locality situated near the Euphrates River. Although it is difficult to determine the precise location of this territory, some scholars suggest it might have been close to Aaron, a place where Abraham, the patriarch, also lived. Balaam is introduced into the biblical narrative at a time when the Israelites were achieving significant victories. They had defeated the Amorites and taken control of all the land of Arnon. At that time, they were north of Moab. However, seeing the magnitude and power of the people of Israel, the Moabites were filled with fear. In response, Balak, king of Moab, decided to seek the help of Balaam, who was recognized as a seer in the region. According to the Scriptures, the Moabites formed an alliance with the Midianites to resist Israel. Consequently, Balak sent emissaries to Balaam requesting his assistance. This story shows us how even in ancient times, the presence and power of Israel were palpable and caused fear among the surrounding nations. Despite the attempts of Balak and Balaam to curse Israel, divine providence prevailed, demonstrating once again that God's plans cannot be thwarted by human will. In reality, Balak wanted Balaam to pronounce curses on the Israelites. Some aspects of the biblical account suggest that Balaam was a prophet of great renown in that region, since King Balak stated about him, "For I know that he whom you bless will be blessed, and he whom you curse will be cursed." The Bible relates that Balaam requested one night to consult the Lord, and during that night, God informed him that he should not curse Israel, as they were his blessed people. Balaam then communicated to the messengers and to Balak that he could not curse the Israelites. However, Balak decided to send other messengers, promising great rewards if Balaam cursed the Israelites. Again, Balaam asked the messengers to wait one night to receive the message from the Lord. God then authorized Balaam to accompany the Moabites, but with the condition that he only said what God ordered him to say. The next morning, Balaam got up, prepared his donkey, and left with the messengers of Moab. However, Balaam's heart was wicked before God, indicating that he left with intentions displeasing to the Lord. It was during this journey that the angel of the Lord intervened in Balaam's path to stop him. Although the prophet Balaam could not see the angel of the Lord standing in his way, his donkey did and refused to continue. Irritated by the donkey's behavior, Balaam hit it 3 times. It was then that God made the donkey speak. This story highlights the importance of following God's will, instead of being led by greed and personal desires. Despite God's clear instructions, Balaam was tempted by the rewards offered by Balak and ended up disobeying God, which ultimately led to his punishment. Balaam's story is a reminder that we should always seek to follow God's guidance and direction in our lives. Immediately after the donkey spoke, the Lord allowed Balaam to see the angel of the Lord, sword in hand, and ready to attack. According to the Holy Scriptures, the Lord allowed the donkey to speak, asking Balaam why he had struck it 3 times. Balaam, frustrated, replied that the donkey had mocked him, and expressed his wish to kill her if he had a sword. The donkey, however, questioned Balaam, reminding him that she had been his faithful servant for a long time and had never acted in that way before. Balaam admitted that she had not. Then, the Lord allowed Balaam to see the angel of the Lord in the way, sword in hand. In response, Balaam bowed down and prostrated himself before him. The angel of the Lord rebuked Balaam, but allowed him to continue his journey on the condition that he only said what the Lord ordered him to say. When he met King Balak, Balaam made it clear that he could only utter the words that the Lord gave him. Despite this, Balak took Balaam to a place where he could curse Israel from. However, instead of curses, Balaam pronounced divine blessings on the Israelites on 3 separate occasions. In the first prophecy, Balaam established that he had no power to curse those whom God had not cursed. In the second, he confirmed that God supported the Israelites, thus ensuring their triumph over the Moabites. This passage highlights the authority of God and his ability to bless his people, even when others try to curse them. Despite Balak's efforts to have Balaam curse the Israelites, God intervened and used the situation to bless his people through Balaam's words. This incident underlines the importance of following God's will, regardless of external pressures or material incentives. In the third prophecy, Balaam spoke of the blessings that God had reserved for Israel, highlighting that whoever tried to curse this people would be cursed in return. In his fourth prophecy, Balaam predicted the arrival of a powerful conqueror, who in the future would decisively defeat the Moabites and Edomites. However, in light of subsequent biblical events, we can interpret that this prophecy was partially fulfilled with David, but also pointed to the even greater victories of the Messiah, whose reign was only a foreshadowing of David's. Subsequently, the prophet Balaam also predicted the fall of other nations. After prophesying about Israel, Balaam bid farewell to Balak and returned to his homeland. However, he reappears in the biblical narrative when he is found among the Midianites. At this point, Balaam advised the Midianites to lead the people of Israel into the pagan worship of Baal Peor and prostitution. Faced with the sin of the people, who were seduced by the plan of the Midianites, God manifested his judgment, and the sinners were expelled from the congregation of Israel. God also instructed Moses to punish the Midianites for what happened, and it was on this occasion that Balaam met his end along with the Midianite kings, as he had tried to bring disgrace upon Israel. This story illustrates how God protects and blesses his people, even when they face powerful enemies and seductive temptations. Despite the efforts of Balak and Balaam, Israel remained under God's protection and was blessed by him. From the story of Balaam, we can draw several lessons. 1. The ultimate sovereignty of God. Despite Balak and Balaam's intentions to curse Israel, God's blessing prevailed, showing us that the plans of man cannot thwart the will of God. 2. The danger of disobedience. Balaam's disobedience and resistance to God's directives led to his downfall, indicating the importance of aligning our actions with God's guidance. 3. The protection of God over his people. Despite the enemies and the attempts against Israel, God protected and blessed them, which reminds us that God is a shield to those who trust in him. Balaam, although a prophet, did not maintain a loyal heart toward God and allowed himself to be influenced by greed and a desire for wealth and recognition. His story serves as a reminder to us that obedience to God and maintaining a heart that is pure and loyal to him are vital for true blessings and protection in our lives. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with others. Also, subscribe to our channel for more content exploring biblical stories and teachings. May the peace and grace of God be with you all.